Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Now today I've got a very special guest. I'm joined by Troops, and we did do a video about 6 months ago, which was a while ago, so we've got a lot to catch up on. But first of all, how are you doing?
Me, I'm good, man. Obviously, a bit bored right now because of the international break. You get me. But apart from that, I'm good over here, man. How you been keeping?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. Can't complain really. I'm like you. The international break for me doesn't excite me. I just miss Arsenal, and it's just a bit boring without them. And I think this is the last international break of the year, so I'm just glad,
Hmm.
to be honest, because it's so boring. But I'm looking forward to chat with you and catching up on a few things, because last time we spoke, obviously we missed out on the league, and obviously in the summer we did bring a few players in. We brought Havertz in, Timber in, who's obviously suffered that injury, which is really unfortunate, and Rice came in, Declan Rice. What have you, now that you've seen a few of them play? What have you made of them signings, and do you think they'll help us win the league?
I think Timber,
Mm-hmm.
he started off really well, and I had high hopes for him. And then he had that unfortunate injury opening day. I thought he was gonna really be a mainstay in that defense. As soon as he came in, he just slotted in like a glove. It's like it's like the way he came in was like he was in the Halen, and he just knew this. He knew the playing style, but he kind of does because Ajax have the same kind of philosophy as Arsenal. So he
Yeah.
found the adaptation. It was easy for him. David Raya, obviously shout out Rams every time. You get me, my brother. Like me and Rams are cool. Like big him up. But I personally thought that Raya is the better goalkeeper. You get me. But I wouldn't have personally gone out and got another goalie. I thought Ramsdale was capable of being our number one this season. But then when you look at the keeper that came in, Arteta's had his eye on him for a while. He's had an eye on him for a few years. So you kind of you kind of understood it when Raya came into the club. Declan Rice, Declan Rice and Blood Club, he's an added midfield. Me and Dex, you get me, we go way back, blood. Like we're talking before he even got into the West Ham first team. And I always knew he was a top talent. I've always been a big admirer of him. When there was the big talk about him going to Chelsea, linking up with Mount, the whole best friend thing, I was fully against it because I believed that he was the type of midfielder that we needed to sign. And when we signed him, I was very happy with that. And a lot of Arsenal fans didn't rate him as highly as I did. And a lot of Arsenal fans didn't really know how good he really was because when he's playing for West Ham, respectfully, Arsenal fans ain't
Mm-hmm.
watching him week in, week out. You're only really seeing Dex when he's playing for England. So that's the only time you can really have a look at him. Whereas me, because he's my guy, I've always got an eye out for him. So when West Ham are on, if Arsenal are not playing, I'll always try and put on the West Ham game. So I knew how cold this shoot was. So when everyone's coming in now and everyone's like, "Yo, this guy, he's the glue. He could be the next captain." I'm like, this is what I knew, blood. You get me? 100 million was a steal. It was an absolute steal. Like when they were saying 100 mil, that's why I was just like, "Yo, just pay the money because you don't want to lose this one. Like this one could be a mainstay and a great legend, future legend at Arsenal." So I was very happy with Rice and what you've seen him do. He's been our most consistent player. For me, he's been our best player this season. You get me? Best player this season. Big moments. He's the one that stepped up. He hasn't shied away from nothing. The big club hasn't. The big lights hasn't like blinded him. He's he's like a duck to water. He's just doing his thing. You get me? Havertz, boy. Here we go. Yeah, boy. You know what it is? Yeah, everyone says that. Like whenever I go to Havertz, they're like, "Troops, your mood just drops." I'm like, blood, because
It happens though, because I was doing a video with someone, and whenever you mention Havertz, everyone's face just drops. It's just one of those ones, honestly.
it's a mood changer, and I didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. The
Mm-hmm.
only time it works is when he puts him in the false nine. When he
Yeah.
has him in the midfield, it does not work. You get me? It doesn't work. Like, and he's when you see other players that are not getting a chance, you sit there and you're like, come on, man, like you're dropping Ramsdale but then you're still persisting with playing him. Now he's going to be in there because the injuries and the suspensions of Fabio Vieira. Hopefully
Yeah.
Odegaard comes back, but he's going to start because Partey's not there. Who else ain't there? Smith Rowe's not there, so
There he's injured again. It's bad.
it's yeah. Havertz is the only one that I've been disappointed with, but the rest of them, like I'm happy with them signings.
Yeah, I think it's because I think as well how much he's costed as well. He's not really been worth it so far. And with Declan Rice, like you said, 100 million kind of feels like a steal with everything we've got from him. And like I've noticed that when Odegaard isn't playing, I would like Declan Rice to be our captain because I think he shows that in his performances. So yeah, it's a really difficult one with Havertz because he's played quite a few games now and he obviously did score that penalty that I think Odegaard or someone gave to him, but he's not really. I think it's hard to say. I mean, I watched the Burnley game, I was there, but I didn't feel like he did much in that game at all. Felt like, is he too afraid to shoot? Is he? I don't know what it is because I know at Chelsea he wasn't great there either. But I just don't know if I see it work and I really want it to work. But I think as well the price tag of it's really bad because it's a lot of money and I just feel like I'm with you. I think the goalkeeper situation is a tough one because I didn't think we really needed to bring Via in because I think there's other positions that are more important at the moment, like the midfield. We definitely need a striker, honestly. I'm so frustrated when I watch Arsenal sometimes. We really need like an Henry back or Kevin Campbell. But yeah, I think with the goalkeeper stuff, obviously, and Ramsdale's dad has obviously came out and spoken about things, and I think I get why he's done it. I mean, I watched the Highbury squad. I know Sophie well, so it was kind of like a friendly chat. It didn't feel like an interview, but with you, do you feel like his dad did the right thing to come out? Because I can't imagine Arteta liking what he had to say.
For me, this is kind of like the Aubameyang situation because I'm cool with Ramsdale, like so it's kind of
Yeah, you're
it's
stuck in
like
the middle.
why is it always people that I'm cool with that are getting caught up in madness?
I
Maybe it's
know.
because I'm a madman. I'm cool with the mad people. The mad people attract madness. I don't know, but for me, like I'm kind of going through the same thing with Trey. Like Trey's trying to do the football thing,
Yeah.
and if I said to Lily, like if Trey goes pro, he gets to a big club. I'm not gonna comment on nothing. Like I'm not
Yeah,
commenting
keep
on
quiet.
nothing. Like I'm not doing the whole. I'm not doing Maguire's mum. I'm not doing Mason Mount's brother or his dad, and I'm not doing Aaron's dad as well because I think it was the wrong thing to do.
Mhm.
Um, he's got to be a bit smarter. You get me? He's you can't really come out and say those things when your son is a player at that club. You get me? Especially in the times we live in now. You can't be doing that, man. You get me? And it's not gonna help Ramsdale. You get me? It's not gonna help Aaron. And then when you see the video that came out with him,
Oh,
Righty, and
yeah, that
yeah,
was
him,
bad.
Righty, and Bugsy Malone, and he's saying that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes. This
It
ain't
was bad.
helping you, blood.
Yeah, it
Like
doesn't help him.
this don't help you, bro. Like I don't know who your social media trainer is, but you need to sack them, blood. Because whatever they're advising
Yeah.
you is absolute foolery, blood. You get me? Like there's things you don't say as a professional footballer on camera. And one of those things was what Aaron said. You get me? And then you get the dad coming out with the interview with Sophie and Uncle Kev. And I get why, like, obviously it's his dad, in it, so he's gonna want to defend him, and it's his son. He's saying that he's lost that smile. He knows how his son is, but in professional football, you can't. You have to take that out. You can't have emotions involved. It was a lot easier back in the day because there weren't social media. So the only way they'll grab you is if one of the journals caught you. You done an interview, it hit the paper, and that was only with like the world class players, where you would get you get the leaks of them being unhappy and they want to move, and other clubs are tapping them up. Now with social media, there's a lot more pressure. You get me? And I don't know like what the angle that they're coming with as well, because it could be an angle where they're trying to do something to try and maybe get Aaron a move, because the thing is as well, he's not going to want to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
He believes he should be starting, and if he wants to have a chance at being England #1, he has to start week in, week out. So it's a mad, like, he shouldn't have done what he done, but there's got to be something behind why they did that.
Yeah, it's a tough one, really. I think he actually was on the Highbury squad once before, and it was more of just a friendly chat about Ramsdale's career overall. So I kind of expected it would be like that, and I think Sophie and Kevin were great to listen to. And I suppose Kevin's been in that position himself as a footballer when Wrighty came in, and I think it was great to listen to him. But like you said, with your son, if you were in that position, sometimes it's better not to say too much, because
like, I'd love to say it, like, especially
Yeah.
me, like, I'll be like, this dickhead, he dropped my son, blood. I'll
Yeah, how dare you.
tell it to madman troops. But I have to remember that, yo, I am a fan, but this is my son's career, so I gotta take that step back and be like, you know what, whatever's going on in the club, you have to deal with it with the manager. I can't. I have my thoughts and feelings. I can tell Arteta how I feel. Personally, like, yo, say, like, if you wanted to go, like, say for example, he wanted to go to Arteta and call him all type of names, I get that, but you can't, like, talk the business outside. You have to keep it in house.
Yeah, I think with Arteta, I do not think he's going to like that, because I
No
think
way.
he's more personal and private. He won't be happy.
You know that meme with Shannon Sharp when he goes,
Yeah.
You know that one? Arteta's like,
He's going to
yeah,
be
you
so
might ask
annoyed
him why I
with that.
dropped him. You might ask him why I'm not bringing him back in. That's why.
You know, one thing that I do worry about, and obviously there are two sides to a story, and we've not really heard Arteta's side, and we won't hear his side ever because he's not going to come out. But Aaron's dad was saying how Ramsdale's not specifically got told you're the second choice goalkeeper, Raya's the #1 now, and maybe he just needs that clarity. But I think with Arteta, I'm worried that he doesn't communicate properly about his decisions with some players. I mean, obviously we don't know the full story, so it's hard to kind of comment on it, but I think you'd want to know what's happening, really. I think Ramsdale probably knows now that he's not going to be the first choice goalkeeper. And obviously he's going to play at Brentford game because obviously Raya can't play. So it'll be kind of weird after hearing what his dad said, and the media went absolutely crazy with that
You might see
information.
Carl Hein in goal.
I know, I'm surprised.
I'm being deadly. Yo, he might not play. He might not even play Ramsdale. You might never see Ramsdale play for Arsenal again. I mean, Aubameyang turned up late and got kicked out of the club and stripped of the captaincy. Ramsdale's, it's when you weigh up what they've done, Ramsdale's thing's a bit more mad. Like, Aubameyang was just turning up late. He was turning up, but he weren't turning up late. Like, he weren't talking in the media. That nothing came out of the Aubameyang camp. Nothing still has really come out where you're like, yo, like, none of his people came out and was like they could have, like, for example, like, they could have said, yo, troops, you want to come on back again? Easily. And said that, yo, I want to talk about Aubameyang's situation. Like, his brothers, I'm cool with both of them. I'm cool with his dad. Any of them could have, any of them could reach out to me. I talked to all of them, like, the whole family, the wife. Great. Like, they could have been, yo, troops, we want to talk about what's happening with Aubameyang, the way he's been stripped of the captaincy, but they never. You have to keep it in house. And Aubameyang never played again, so I can't see Ramsdale playing again, because I think that what's happened now, I think it's a lot worse. To say, like, you can't concentrate for 90 minutes in front of a club legend as well, the way that Wrighty looked at him.
He was like, wow.
Yeah, then his pops comes out.
Yeah,
then his pops comes out moving like Jada Pinkett. Just, it's mad.
It's hard. I mean, as people like us, we can get away with not being able to concentrate, but when you're a footballer, for the whole game you've got to, and it is hard. I can't decide really which one I think is better. My heart is always with Ramsdale because I love him and I love his character. I love how he gives it back to the fans, and I do think he is a good goalkeeper. I think last season the saves he made, like the Mo Salah one, a few others, and it is tough. For you, do you have a decision of who you think's better, or are you just not sure? Like, because I'm not really 100% sure yet.
What, Rams or Raya?
Yeah, yeah,
I say Raya. Like Raya is the better for me.
yeah.
Raya is the better for me. Raya, I've always said it. Like Raya is the better goalkeeper. Like when Ramsdale was kind of making mistakes early on this season, I was saying that you've brought Raya in for competition. Ramsdale, he needs to be dropped now, and he needs like that competition. So throw with Raya in. So when he threw Raya in, I was like, all right, cool, I'm with it.
Mhm.
When Raya started doing the mad thing, now I was like, maybe you need to show the same energy and put Ramsdale back in to give him an opportunity. When Ramsdale did go in against West Ham, he didn't have the best of games. You get me? And then Raya started to pick up form. Raya's looking a lot more like the Brentford Raya now. So, like, Arteta's kind of being proven right that Raya is the better option. Raya's and we've kept them. We've conceded the least amount of goals in the league this season. Us and Liverpool, it's joint.
Wow,
So
it feels like we have scored and conceded more than what we have.
yeah, we've conceded the least amount of goals in the league so far this season, and Raya's, it's
That's
mad.
good.
And Raya's kept a lot of clean sheets as well, and he's
Yeah.
played like out of the people in the list, he's played like the least amount of games.
You know, I do like Raya. I think to start off with, I did feel a bit hurt that Ramsdale got dropped the way he did, especially I think he got his first start for England, and I thought to come back and to be dropped, it must really hurt. And it is hard. I mean, we don't know everything, so I kind of stay out of it. But I think with Ramsdale, I do hope he plays against Brentford, but like you said, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't, because obviously his dad came out, and I think as well the season is not even December yet, and I feel like if his dad maybe came out at the end of the season or a bit later on, I'd say okay. I mean, I see it on both sides. I kind of get why he did it, but I get it could be making Ramsdale in a bad light. It could make his situation at Arsenal worse. Like you said, as a dad, sometimes even though it's really hard, you've just got to keep your mouth shut in these situations. It must be tough, because for me, I'd want to talk like you would, but it is tough. And I did want to ask you a bit about the season, because I think last season we did have more of a fast start. Obviously, Xhaka's gone. We've got a few more signings in. Do you think we've had a slow start to the season? Because some people have suggested that we seem like a different Arsenal this season.
It has been a slower start. Last season, we kind of just came out the gates and we went and we ran with it, and we the momentum was with us up until March, and then capitulation, and then the capitulation begun. This season has been more steady. We're just staying with the pack. We haven't really come out. I don't think we've come out the gates yet. I don't think we've started playing football yet. But we are where we need to be, which is in the pack, where if somebody slips, we can strike and jump ahead of the pack. And that brings me hope. But we need to make moves in the January window.
Yeah.
This squad, it's not strong enough to go up against City. It's still missing a few key players in key areas. Then I think we can really compete, because Liverpool have got players in their squad that have won the Premier League, that have beaten Pep Guardiola, that have beaten Man City. So they know, they have a manager as well who knows how to beat Pep. So if Liverpool stay with the pack as well, they could be a big threat, because Salah, Diaz, his dad's back as well. That's great to see.
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
But he was performing when his dad was being held captive. So imagine now he's free. He's like, I am mad thing now, Super Saiyan, turning into Goku on man. Like, you got Darwin Núñez actually playing like a footballer now.
Yeah.
Yotta's scoring goals. The midfield that they've bought, it looks like it looks like there's cohesion in it, with Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenbach. Van Dijk's looking more like himself. Trent's defending.
Yeah.
Alisson's the best goalie in the league. Like, if they stay with it as well, they could be a threat as well.
You're not going to add Spurs in the title race?
No way. Like when I said like people are getting excited, these Tottenham man need to relax.
And they've just lost 2 games, and now it's amazing.
Like these men were getting bare. I said, "Yo, you man, relax. You know, like yo, relax. Like you drew 2-2 at Emirates. You would have thought you beat us 4-0. You
I know the
understand?
way they were talking as
Yeah, it
well,
was it
honestly.
was mad. And then they just needed that little back to life, back to
I've got to
reality.
say, you knew that Chelsea game, I thought
Yeah,
that Chelsea were never gonna score that game,
no
honestly.
facts. When they
It
kept
was
like
such a
attacking, I was
chaotic
like, bro,
game.
how do you man keep flopping?
I know. I thought we were bad with missing our chances, but they make us look really good.
Trust me. But we got a chance at winning the league this year, man. We
Yeah,
have a chance, but it's that January window is very important. That will
yeah.
determine if we win it or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I think it's really difficult because I noticed with Jesus and Partey, they get injured quite a lot, and I feel like it's hard for the team to really go with it when the injuries are so often. And I know Partey should be back. I don't know if it's after Christmas or Jesus will be back soon, but we
Jesus
have
was
been
in
like,
full training for Brazil just
yeah,
now.
I saw that. That really surprised me. I was like,
Like,
damn, that was quick.
I don't know what's going on.
I know. I was really surprised. I wonder if he'll be playing like a lot of the games or not because I know he was in training, but I don't know
Hmm.
if he's doing that. But we have been linked to like Ruben Neves. I know Douglas Luiz has been one that's being thrown around, but how would you feel about them or one of them coming? Would you be happy with that or?
When I saw, so I think it was about it must have been about 2-3 weeks ago. I saw that Newcastle were looking at bringing Neves in on loan,
Mhm.
and I said then, I tweeted then that yo, Arsenal need to be all over this.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a good option for 6 months with Partey's injury woes, with Jorginho with his 1980 with his 1895 body. Like, bro, this is a perfect option. Like,
mm,
this is a younger version of Xhaka. You get me? Like,
yeah,
just right-footed as well. So I was like, yo, Arsenal needs to be making a move. Then a couple of days ago, I see the news that Arsenal could be looking to hijack the move. I think that's the one that I would go for out of the two. I think
yeah. I
Ruben Neves
agree.
is the one.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that, and I think it'd be a loan as well. So if it did go bad, then you can always send them back. But I think we've got to do something in the January window, and like you said, I've said it. I think that's what's going to help us win the league. I think we've obviously improved. Declan Rice coming in midfield has definitely helped us, and it's obviously been hard with Timber, but hopefully he'll be back like next year. I think I've heard around March time, but I think we've got to bring in a few players for sure. I did want to also ask you a bit about Arteta because, as we know, the Newcastle game it didn't go our way. He spoke up about the referees, which I actually admire because the referees have, I think they're pretty bad in the Premier League, and he's obviously been fined by the FA. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on the whole situation about him talking about it, and what do you make of him being fined? Because that did not surprise me at all.
You knew he was gonna get fined.
Yeah.
You knew it, man. Um, I think the only way the referee situation changes is if when one manager loses their shit, the rest of the managers have to back it in their press conference. When they're
Yeah.
asked, "Oh, what do you think of Arteta's comments?" Like this clown kangaroo Ange coming out and saying, "I respect the referees. The referees should be respected." Like, bro, that's not gonna make things better. Like you, like
Yeah.
when seriously, like when Klopp had his madness against Tottenham earlier in the season, the only manager that supported him was Arteta.
Mm.
Like there has to be the same energy throughout the board. Like for me, the goal should have stood because the ball was out. Like I don't think it was a foul on Gabriel. I think it was soft. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like the way Gabriel was, like he was already kind of going down. Like Joe Linton, like when you look at it, like he didn't really. He put his hand on him. He didn't put. It wasn't a push. Like he was just like for me, the ball's gone out of play. That's where I was losing my shit. It
Yeah.
wasn't the foul. So for me, Arteta was right to go mad. Um, and I actually support what he said because the
Mm.
referees are a joke. It gets worse and worse every game. It's not even like every year. Every game, the officiating's getting worse and worse and worse. As you go through the Premier League season, the refs are getting worse and worse and worse. They're dropping refs, but then they're bringing them back in like 2-3 weeks. it's not good enough. Like they need to like hire foreign officials because the foreign officials are better than the English officials. Because
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like, nah, I'm done with it now. Like I'm actually done with it. Like I've had enough of these officials. It's
I,
every week.
yeah, it's so bad. I actually feel bored like when it always happens. Even like with Liverpool, I know United have had a few dodgy decisions, but it's kind of boring saying the same thing all the time. Like I'm generally getting bored of repeating it because I'm just tired of it now, really.
Every week, new apology. Every week, I sit there like, yep, they're gonna send another apology. Yep, here comes another letter.
It
Yep, here we
doesn't
go.
change anything because if they made an apology and then it's hard with the replay because I kind of get why that wouldn't happen because with the Klopp one, tons like including Arsenal, we've had decisions not go our way and other teams have, so it wouldn't be fair on other teams. So I get why a replay wouldn't be necessary, but they could give you a point at least because, like I've said, obviously losing that game, I didn't think we had enough to win it, but that point could affect our season. So I do think something definitely has to change for sure.
But it never will. It never will.
I
Because even
know.
when they discuss it like on Sky Sports News and all them other platforms, the way that the retired referees talk about these situations, oh, you lot don't know the rules and da 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 da, and you can't change the rules. And what do you mean you can't change the rules? You lot are adding rules to the game. So why can't we do that as well? It's
Yeah.
just contradiction after contradiction.
Do you know what? I never know these days what is a handball, like what is given as a penalty, as a foul, because it's just so inconsistent. And I think VAR, I think the idea of it is really good because it's like technology is improving as we get older, but I just feel like the people that are using it are just clueless, and it's just terrible. And I'm with you. I think if the decision was like say the ball was in and Gabriel just got that push, I would think that would be a goal because football's quite physical. You do make contact, and I would get that. But I think, like you said, the ball was out, and I think the problem is people are saying in different angles it doesn't look out. But I really strongly feel like it was out. So it's one of those ones. I think I'm happy Arteta came out to speak because I know Wenger, would speak out for a while, and I think the problem is like by us speaking out, we're not using that as an excuse to say we deserve to win because I actually don't think we did. I think a point would have been fair, but I think you've just got to speak out about it. But like you said, Arteta probably knew he was going to get fined, so he's just had to deal with that consequence. But I think with Ange, like the Spurs manager, I felt like what he was saying. I feel like he was saying that so pundits would love him. I don't know if I feel like it was genuine because we know Gary Neville and other pundits were on Arteta's back, and then when Angie speaks about Spurs, everyone just loves him, and it's just crazy, honestly.
There's just big media love fest around him,
I
and
don't know
it,
why though.
that's what I'm saying. I don't have a clue. I call it like he's 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 the Australian Bielsa, but Bielsa was like clear that just we'll attack the whole game, forget defending. We could go down to two men. We are not defending. We are on the halfway line pressing. That's what he literally is.
You know what I did not get? Spurs lost 4-1 to Chelsea, and the media were praising him. Like, oh my god, can you
I remember
imagine if that
getting
was us?
slapped. I remember being at Anfield. We lost 4-0, and Wenger never changed his tactic. He kept playing a high line. Salah kept killing us, and they killed Wenger. They killed him.
Mm.
Ah, his tactics. He's getting too old. He's lost it. It's time to call it a day. Maybe the Wenger routes are right. Da, 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 da. But then when it's this fucking kangaroo, it's oh yeah. Oh, look at the brave Carragher, clown. Oh, look at the bravery, mate. He was so brave.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
god, he was so brave, mate, playing a high line. I'm like, bro, he was stupid. Like, why are we
Oh, it's
praising?
ridiculous, honestly.
Why are we praising stupidity?
It's actually so frustrating because I just don't get how you can say Spurs, did well in that game when he lost 4-1. I mean, they did do okay in the first half, but up until the instance. But I've always said this, and I think if you're not an Arsenal fan, you won't understand. But I do think the referees and the media do have something against us. I just think, I think with us, I know last season, like when we were going for the league, like Spurs have been going for the league, they've been getting this love. But when it was us, we got moaned at for over celebrating. We got moaned at for everything. And now when it's Spurs, there's no hate with the media. It's just really crazy. I just don't know why Spurs are so loved by the media. And I've said that Spurs have improved, and that's just true. I do believe that, but I just think the media and everyone just loved them, and I just don't get why. Honestly, I don't know why.
There's always been a hate for
Mm,
Arsenal. Like even back in
yeah.
the day, like the big clubs always get it because they're a small club. They
Mm,
don't win nothing. It's
yeah.
like, oh, look at Spurs, little Spurs. Oh, look at them trying so hard. Piss off.
No, I'm with you. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I just don't get it, and I knew that they would come to a point where they start losing games because obviously Madison, I think he's got an injury and he's not been playing, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit relieved he was off for a little bit because I know the whole thing about, Arsenal going unbeaten. I didn't want Spurs to kind of do that. And not that they would. I didn't think they would, but there was always a thought in the back of my mind about that. So for me, when I saw that they lost, that was what I was thinking because it would be horrible to lose it to Spurs as well, of all teams, because I know it will get broken one day, but I just hope it doesn't ever go to United or Spurs, honestly.
It's not getting broken for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it will. It's really difficult. Even this Man City side can't even do it.
Uh-uh. I don't think it will be broken. I'm not gonna lie.
I never want it to be broken. I think Sol Campbell said once it would be nice for it to be like this for like a while because it just shows you that it's really difficult to do and no one can actually do it, and it's been ages since the Invincibles and no one's really been capable of doing it. So
20
I do
years
think,
this year. Well, next year.
wow, I love that.
20
That's
years next year.
incredible. Oh, that's amazing. I hope it never gets broken because it's. I think people kind of don't give it the credit it deserves. Like, obviously, us doing that didn't win us an extra trophy, but it just shows you that Wenger believed in the team and no one could beat us. I just think it's. I find it really cool, to be honest, that no one can do that.
He wanted to go. He wanted to go invincible the season before. The players laughed at him.
And look what he did. I love that,
Like
honestly.
Henri said, he was like, "Bro, are you crazy, Gaffer?"
Yeah, you mad?
He was like, bro, are you mad? Like, we gotta go Anfield, we gotta go Chelsea, we gotta go OT, we gotta go Tottenham. Like, these are difficult. Like, yo, are you sure? Yeah, we'll do it. And then that season we lost to Everton, Rooney's
Mm.
first goal. Rooney's first
I
ever
was.
goal in pro football. That's where we lost. That was the first loss that season. And then we we lost to Leeds in 2002, 2003 at home, 3-2. And then we lost the league. And then the next game, who the fuck did we play the next game again? But that's where the run started. The run started in the
I love
02-03 season because we lost to Leeds and then we won. I think there was still two more games. And I think we won. Was it 2 or 1? It was either 2 or 1, but the run
it.
started in O. So the run went from 02-03 season until 04-05. So it ran through 3 seasons. Not full 3, but it was that one, and then went into that one.
Oh, that's amazing. And did you see online that this season before the Newcastle game, people were talking about us going unbeaten? And I think we haven't got that team, so we're not going to do that. I just think that was
That
really
was a team.
unrealistic.
The Invincibles was a team full of men. Like
Yeah,
there
I
was
think
all of them were at their peak. There was not one player in that team that was on a come up. Every player in that team was at their peak powers. Like in this
yeah,
team,
that's the
everyone's
difference.
in this
Mm.
team, the whole team is on a come up. No one's at their peak right now. No one in our team is at their peak.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I did think last season we would do it with the league, but I think, like you said, in a few years' time, I definitely believe that there's a chance we can do it, but it's going to be tough. And before we go, I did want to just ask you. Obviously, you've spoken about the league. Do you think we can do this? And if so, I want to know your top 4 predictions about the league and everything.
Top four, no, not in order.
Yeah.
City, Arsenal, Liverpool,
It's tough, isn't it?
Chelsea.
Yeah. It's, you know what, I think Aston Villa are doing a lot better than what I think, but I don't think they'll get top 4. I reckon they'll get into Europe, but it's really tough to call this season. Definitely Liverpool. I think United, I'm going to be honest, I did expect them to do much better this season, and they've been an absolute joke, honestly. They're just funny to watch now. I just know every game, well, most games, you can predict a loss from them. I'm surprised personally because they won a trophy last season. I know it wasn't a big trophy, but I was expecting big things of them this season. But I don't reckon I'll get top 4. I'm with you. I think it'll probably be Arsenal, City, Liverpool. The other one I don't know. Chelsea are starting to pick up results, and they did draw with City.
I think
Um,
Chelsea are in a better, even though they're
yeah,
below United. I think they're in a better position than United, like as a club, as a
yeah,
squad.
yeah. I do. I think Chelsea have got a few good players, and the managers obviously experienced. Ten Hag, has experience too, but the squad he has just isn't good enough. Like, we're in 2023, and they've still got Maguire. Like,
It's mad. It's
they
mad.
had the chance to sell him and they didn't. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
West Ham wanted him, but I don't think he wanted to take a pay cut.
I don't know why West Ham would look at Maguire and think,
But you know what? That's his level.
yeah, yeah,
Like that's where I put Nketiah. Like, nah, not even West Ham. West Ham's a bit too high. I put Nketiah like Brentford,
mm.
Palace. He's that kind of level.
Yeah. I agree. I think with someone like Maguire, I feel like, yeah, I think somewhere in the top 10, I'd put him like
Yeah, I'd say
in
yeah,
a club.
like
Yeah,
Villa, West Ham. Uh, who else is lurking around there? Brentford. That kind of level. He's
yeah, I'm
round
with
there.
you on
I
that.
think he's round there, like Europa League, Conference League. That's where his level is, not
Yeah,
Champions League.
I'm with you on that. I definitely think that's a devil for sure, but
Hmm.
I just hope we can win the league, and if we can't, at least just bring silverware. Like, I just want a trophy.
Yeah,
Like,
we need the trophy this year,
yeah,
100%.
I've said this. I think last season we really deserved a trophy for all of our hard work and everything we did. But I hope we can get an FA Cup at least. In the Champions League, I do not expect to win it this season at all. I think as long as we make ourselves proud and maybe get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, I think I could be content with that. But yeah, I really hope we can win the league. Before we go, could you just tell people a bit about where they can find you? Because I know people know you from your YouTube channel.
Troops TV, you know the vibe. That's where you'll find me on YouTube. Troops AFC, on what they call it now, X, in it on X,
Oh, I know, that's
and
just weird saying
yeah,
that.
man, on X and Insta, and yeah, man. Make sure you sub to Soph. You understand? She's doing great things over here. You get me? So make sure you show for all the love that you show me.
Appreciate it, and I will put your channel in the description because your content's great. And yeah, why not sub to Troops? He does great things, and
No,
it's
thank you,
been
man.
really lovely to chat with you today. I hope you guys that are watching this back do also enjoy this and share some love to Troops as well. But I will see you guys at my next video. Bye.